Hey everyone, how you all doing today? And welcome back to another meta, guys. So we are in the Retro Cup. The season is about to come to an end. OMG. Let's see what next season has in store for us. So I am recording this ahead of time, probably about a week ahead of time. So, maybe it's possible we already know what happens next season, right? Probably not, but if you're watching this and we already know, then we already know. But either way, that's next season. We're talking about the Retro Cup. So the types that are not going to be eligible: Dark typing, Fairy typing, and Steel typing. The types that came out after the first generation are not eligible, right? So let's go ahead and see what we got going on for us. So we do have a different meta compared to previous seasons because of a lot of new Pokemon, of course, or a lot of changes this season. So for the S rank, we do have Clodsire. So Clodsire, always a fantastic pick. This season has been fantastic. You see it a lot of times with Sludge Bomb. You see it a lot of times with Stone Edge. I've been enjoying the Sludge Bomb variant more now that is in the Open Great League. Obviously, this is the Retro Cup, so it could be a little bit different, but I've been enjoying that. But since Fairy types are banned, maybe you do want to go with Stone Edge. I think Stone Edge actually is rated the highest Clodsire variant, so probably because of Fairy types just being banned, which makes sense. And then you have Flying types you could hit Stone Edge with. Then we have Lickilicky, which is a rollout user, so of course Lickilicky with Body Slam, rollout Body Slam, and then either Earthquake or Shadow Ball. You could go double nukes, and I do like the double nukes, the Earthquake and Shadow Ball in the Ultra League. Body Slam I still like in the Great League, even though it was nerfed this season. It's still not a bad move, and it's still a good bait move. Then we have Oranguru. So Oranguru, with the confusion damage, definitely going to be doing fantastic against the new Ape Pokemon, Annihilate and Primeape. They're not new, but they got the new move, Rage Fist, and it makes them, especially that Primeape, really, really good. So Oranguru, of course, going to do well there. Plus, I mean, it's just relatively bulky. I mean, it has Trailblaze. You can boost out Confusion. Always nice to see. And then we have Feraligatr, or the Shadow variant. This Pokemon has been good since it got Shadow Claw. It got even better this season somehow. It's just so good. Such a great save swap. It's just such a good Pokemon, all in all. Now, this season, I have been seeing Ice Beam over Crunch. Previous seasons, I have been seeing Crunch more on the Feraligatr. I guess it just goes based on the meta, what Pokemon you see. And then we have Octobax, a Dragon type. Dragon types are pretty much safe for the most part because you don't have to worry about Fairy types or Steel types. Fairy double resists Dragon attacks, and then Steel single resistor, right? So you don't have to worry about the resistances. Yes, you still are weak, like Octobax is weak to fighting. Dragon types are weak to ice. Octobax is not because it's an ice type. But in general, that's pretty much it, right? I mean, Dragon types are so safe in the Retro Cup. And then we have Drifblim. Drifblim has been fantastic ever since it got Astonish. Absolutely love Astonish, Drifblim. The regular and the Shadow both do well. Then we have Dunsparce, another rollout user. Both Lickilicky and Dunsparce are absolutely fantastic. Moving on to the A rank, we do have Jumpluff, or the Shadow version of Jumpluff. So if you're running the Shadow one, I do like the Aerial Ace, just because it's you get to it faster, right? You have that Shadow bonus damage. The regular one could run with Acrobatics if you want to. And then, of course, you have Energy Ball. The Fairy one did receive that damage buff this season. Fantastic stuff. Then we have Hakamo-o, yet another Dragon type. Brick Break is guaranteed to lower your opponent's defense, I believe it is. And then, yeah, I mean, it has Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw. So yeah, another fantastic Dragon type. Every time the Retro Cup comes around, we always see Double Dragon. I've even seen Triple Dragon. So because you don't have to worry about the Fairy types, right? You could run Triple Dragon in Retro Cup, and I probably will run it because you don't have to worry about the resistances, like the Fairy type things. Again, you have to watch out for Ice, but you could one of those. It's probably going to be Octobax, which is not weak to Ice. So. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic Pokemon. Then we have Cresselia. Okay, so Cresselia has Moonblast, so I'm not saying there's not any Fairy attacks, but you don't have to worry about the Fairy typing that's going to double resist, basically, right? So Cresselia, of course, with the Psycho Cut, getting to the Moonblast, Grass Knot, Feature Set, whichever way you want to go. You probably Grass Knot, Moonblast, honestly, right? Because I'm looking at the top Pokemon and I'm not seeing any Fire types right now. So that's probably what you're going to want to go for. And then we have Aurorus. So Aurorus, a fantastic Ice type Pokemon with the Powder Snow Weather Ball combination. Really, really fast. And of course, Meteor Beam hits like a truck and boosts your attack, right? Then we have Goodra, yet another Dragon type. Of course, Goodra did receive the Community Day Thunder Punch attack. Then Aqua Tail as well. Gastrodon, very nice as a Mudslap user. We know how strong Gastrodon is. And then we have Diggersby. Diggersby became so much better this season for some reason. But so good, so good. Moving on to the B rank, we have the Toxapex, another Pokemon that didn't receive a buff directly, but it just does so well this season. It's so tanky. I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Toxapex, and I guess it's probably because Brine is just such a bad move. Like, if it had Surf or if it had another move outside of Brine, another water move, I probably would like it more. Maybe if it had Scold. Again, like, I'm not saying they should necessarily give it these moves or buff this Pokemon, because this Pokemon is so bulky, it would be that much better. But I'm just saying, that's really why I'm not the biggest fan of it. It is a good Pokemon, though, and I've used it from time to time for sure. Then we have Dragonair, yet another Dragon type. I love the Shadow version of Dragonair. Moving on to the Marowak, or Shadow Marowak. I wish I had the Shadow one. Unfortunately, I don't. I do prefer the Shadow one, so if you have it, I would definitely recommend it with the Mud Slap. Really, really good stuff. And then we have Runerikus. So Runerikus as a Ghost type. Could be pretty good. I think it got Brutal Swing this season, didn't it? Shadow Claw, Brutal Swing. I think it got Brutal Swing. And then we have Miltank, another rollout user, and then Quagsire, or the Shadow version of Quagsire. Spam out those Aqua Tails. Even though Mudshot was nerfed, you still spam out those Aqua Tails. The other options, we do have Annihilate. So Annihilate, of course, did get that Rage Fist. It also is stuck with Counter, though, whereas Primeape gets Karate Chop. Annihilate does not get Karate Chop. But still, I mean, Counter's still... Yes, it was nerfed and it is affected, but you could still definitely run away with it, right? You can still use it for sure. Dusknoir or Shadow Dusknoir with the Astonish. Drifblim, definitely a better option for the Astonish user, but I still think Dusclops, maybe if you want to go double Astonish or just another one, it is pretty powerful. Then we have Golok, or Shadow Golok. The Mud Slap damage is no joke. We've seen this season in a previous cup, the Halloween Cup. I hit Legend actually with Shadow Golok. Then we have Dugong, so another really strong ice type. Of course, it is a great safe swap. And then we have Dragonite. Dragonite is another dragon type. Super powerful Dragon Breath from the Shadow Dragonite. Then we have kommo-o, more dragons. And then we have, even Altaria is another dragon, right? But Gallade as well. Gallade, Psycho Cut, gets to the Leaf Blade in close combat fast. Ursaring, or Shadow Ursaring. Frostlass, some other ice types, Abomasnow as well, and then we have Machamp as another fighting type. But Primeape is just going to dominate the fighting type slot, I feel like, just because it's so good. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the solid team options. The first team is going to be a double rollout team with Dunsparce and Lickilicky, and then I put Jumpluff in the lead. Of course, the back line is not going to appreciate fighting types like the new Rage Fist Primeape or Annihilate, right? But Jumpluff will, because it's doing super effective damage with Fairy Wind, plus it has Aerial Ace. I would go with the Shadow one if you have it. If you don't, you can go with the regular one. And then we have a double Dragon team, so Goodra and Octobax. In theory, the backline would be weak. You would be double weak to Ice, but Octobax is an Ice type, so it's not weak to Ice. So you only have one Pokemon that's weak to Ice, right, on the team, which is going to be that Goodra. And then you have Primeape if you happen to battle any Ice types. And of course, it's going to do well against Rollout, which I think is going to be really common as well. And then next up, we have the double Mud Slap team with the Kanto Marowak and Gastrodon. If you have the Shadow Marowak, I'd go with that. If you don't, like me, you got to go with the regular one. And then I put an Ice type in the lead. I put Auroras in the lead. I think Wholesome _ created essentially this team for the Open Great League. Double Mud Slaps in the back with Alolan Sandslash. I put another Ice type. Obviously, Alolan Sandslash not eligible because of the Steel typing. And then we have another team. We do have Clodsire in the lead. I'd go with the Stone Edge. You don't have to worry about the Fairy types. And then you do have Oranguru. Of course, Oranguru is going to do well against fighting types. And even against neutral. The neutral confusions. Plus, you get to boost it with... with Trailblaze? Not bad. And then Feraligatr, or the Shadow version of Feraligatr. You have a couple bulky Pokemon, so I'd probably go with the Shadow version of the Feraligatr on this team. Next up, we have Drifblim in the lead with Diggersby and Toxapex. So I think Diggersby could work as a safe swap. Obviously, there's going to be some Pokemon it doesn't want to see, but it's just so bulky. It's just really, really good. And then next up, we have Cresselia in the lead with Lickilicky. And then Goodra. So let me know what you think of these teams. Let me know what team you plan on running in the Retro Cup, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.